All right. I am joined by the man himself, the man of the hour, Garret Gray, founder and CEO of NextGear Solutions. Garret is not a stranger to mergers and acquisitions. Within NextGear, he has been on the flip side of buying companies, Mika, Moisture Mapper, Client Runner. Now, Garret, you're on the flip side. You have been
On the
bought
flip
by,
side,
by CoreLogic. So tell me first what prompted this sale and acquisition.
you know, we at NextGear have been trying to do so many things for so long. I mean, challenging the status quo for us is ingrained in our DNA. And for us, originally, status quo was just paper. And so we've been fighting the paper monster for, gosh, 13 plus years. And, this team just kind of set out to do big things. And, I think as I reflect on next year, which, it's a little emotional for me. So, just, bear with me. But, as I reflect on, what next year has meant and the people and the founders that have put their trust in this company, the histories of so many different companies, Client Runner and Mika and Luxor and Accurance and Moisture Mapper. I mean, the NextGear story is such a complex, quilt, fabric, of people's lives all woven together. And, we have always had big goals. And as, as we had been digesting the Accurance merger and, having a fantastic 24 months with that, we were looking to what's next. And, we were trying to do a couple other things, believe it or not. Like we had some other moves that we were trying to make that didn't work out. And, this just came along as something that was sort of unexpected. But we've always really admired the CoreLogic team and the Symbility team originally from afar. Like, we have, partnered well with them. We like the people and the culture. And so it was really a natural fit when we were looking for a home to figure out, how do we do something that would really benefit the industry? And so this was something that we thought would do just that.
Okay, so lots of questions from
I'm
contractors
sure.
and from me. So, all right, first one, what does this mean for NextGear clients? What does this mean for contractors that use NextGear?
Yeah. So I want to be very clear. We have done a lot of different acquisitions. And one of the things that we do when we bring in a new company is like we try to get to one company really quick. You see the CoreLogic logo there. We are CoreLogic now through and through. Like we are super pumped. And that's not something that CoreLogic is pushing on us. This is a NextGear cultural thing. Like we're ready to be one company right away. Now, what does that mean for NextGear customers who are now CoreLogic customers? It just means you're going to get more and more service from us. There are so many things that we're going to be able to offer that we weren't able to offer before because of the power and the scale of CoreLogic. CoreLogic has data assets that I don't think a lot of people know about, like understanding the weather and how it's impacting an event in real time, overlaying that to where you have crews. Can you imagine what we're going to be able to do with just having access to such amazing weather assets? So that's just I'm just scratching, the kind of the top or the surface of what they've got in the last couple of days, and I'm so excited. It's crazy.
I do get
So,
press releases from them all the time on weather data, or like
yeah.
here's the like billions of dollars that they're projecting for IDA to hit and then like to do.
But
And
we're not
then,
connecting the dots yet, and this connects the dots. This will connect the dots.
all right, so on the CoreLogic side, there's Symbility for estimating. You're
Yeah.
integrated with Exactware.
Yeah.
Anything change there?
No, I mean, I think if you read my press release or our press release, this is, from the top down, which is now Frank Martel. Like we are so committed to integrations. You know, competition in everything in our lives is good. No one has ever said, "Oh, we wish we had less competition." and so if you think about like areas in our lives where you don't have a lot of competition, like your utility companies or your cable companies, sometimes like usually that has a negative experience or can have a negative experience for customers. And contractors and carriers and all the different people in our ecosystem, I think, deserve to have choices. And that's what this is about. This is about bringing choices. And so like, do I want now that everybody, looks at the full breadth of CoreLogic's, platform? Sure. But guess what? People are going to choose to use other things, and they should be able to do that. We should be earning people's business by doing the right things so that contractors and carriers and all other stakeholders can choose to do what's right for them. And that shouldn't be dictated by who currently has the flow of data. Right? This data is owned by the people who are creating it, not by just by the software companies that are, in the middle of it. And so people should be able to choose what they want to do. It's got to be secure. You can't just send data everywhere, because we all live in this new environment where, security and people's information, it has to be kept private. But that's not how people should be making decisions based on who can control the flow of data. And so we are not going to do that. We're wanted to say, very quickly, right out front, that people should be able to, choose who they want to use, and we won't restrict that flow.
So what about on the data conversation, contractors who are concerned about how much data companies like CoreLogic have? Like NextGear has a lot of data, so now it's CoreLogic data. So what do you say to contractors who are worried about their data being now shared and available, and CoreLogic is going to know everything?
Well, first of all, let's be clear. This is our customers' data. It has been our customers' data, is our customers' data. So, do all software companies have, aggregate, rights to understand, insights and be able to do things with data so that everyone wins? Of course, but this is our customers' data, and nothing's changing. So, look, if anyone who knows me knows I'm not the best speller. And so every time that I ask Siri how to spell a word, I know that they're tracking that. And, some engineer somewhere probably knows I can't spell for nothing. But look, so this concern is a real concern for all of us in our lives, right? I totally get it. And so I understand that there's this, fear of big data companies, and CoreLogic is a big data company, right? Like that is, they're one of the biggest. And if you buy a house, if you have ever worked with an agent, they're working with CoreLogic data, right? This is, but think about the power that is going to bring us to bring better solutions to contractors and carriers. If all of a sudden, we know a storm is coming in and we're tracking that hail, and we know exactly where it's hitting, or we know the level of the water as floods rise, we can help contractors place crews more efficiently so that they're not running out to cats and putting, people and equipment all over the place, and they can be more strategic. And so, I get the data concern, but I think the value that we're going to bring from a data perspective far outweighs any concerns that people should have about, what downside implications might be.
Okay. So you talked about this a little bit. What kind of shifts do you think that there could be now in the estimating space and pricing and stuff like that, now that this does really, give Xactimate more competition with Symbility, I think, because you're a little bit more on that side of things. So what do you think is going to play out in that space?
I don't know, frankly, what's going to play out. I think that I think competition is just good regardless. It gets us all to better answers faster. It forces everyone to innovate more. It's going to force us to listen to contractors and carriers more. This is so good for the industry, because what it does is it sets up choice. And when customers have choice, the people who serve those customers have to do better. And, our intention is to do better. And I hope everyone else does the same thing.
So what does this mean internally at NextGear for your team? Are there going to be any changes internally? Contractors who want to reach out for customer service or whatever, is any of that going to change? What does that look like?
Yeah. So day one, nothing changes at all. If you had a NextGear team member who is now a CoreLogic team member, still reach out to them. Their email addresses work, their cell phone numbers work. No one is leaving. Like this is not about, us exiting and CoreLogic taking over. This is about us joining forces with CoreLogic. I wish the whole industry could have been on the last couple sets of calls with our team and could see the chatter in our, company-wide chatter boxes, like where people are typing. They are so excited, like genuinely excited. And my whole leadership team is genuinely excited. Like I'm not going anywhere. I think it's very clear. Like I want everyone to be very clear. Like this is not me riding off into the sunset and saying see you later. I am so excited about what this can be for our industry, and the positive change and the impact that we can make as a broader team. And I want to be there to be a part of the team that stewards that. And I think it's really important that contractors remember, like, contractors were my first love, right? This is where, I grew up in our space, and carriers are an important part of our ecosystem. And I think the tone that we should all have is, how do we bridge gaps? How do we work better together? How do we find win-wins? We're all focusing on policyholders that need to get back to pre-loss condition after really, really tough circumstances. Our contractors that are our customers and that are not our customers are working in really hard circumstances. And how do we make their lives easier? And so that's got to be the theme. The focus has got to be on people. The focus has got to be on customers. And I think if we do that, then everyone wins. And if everybody else does that, then great, we should do it better. And then hopefully then they do it better. And then it just, everything gets better for the end customer. And that is really what our focus is.
I do feel like this is a trend in the industry now, this more collaborative nature. I think more people are starting to join forces and realizing we need to integrate. Even at the experience that I was at, the show last week, there were vendors that were like chemical vendors and stuff like that, sharing booths and like integrating with other people where they complement their stuff. And it's like, that's what contractors need.
The idea that you block out your competitor and try to work in a silo is so old school. Like the way that, like, if you look at Apple, right? Like, their number one app they sell are Microsoft products. Like, so, like the thing is like, you can't do everything the best, right? You can think you do, but you really always can't. And so that's why people should be able to mix and match what things they think work best for them. And, there's an added complexity in our space around security. This is a fundamental principle. We believe we shouldn't be winning by restricting people's access to data. However, like, we can't just have an open API, because carriers cannot have, and we cannot have, carrier data and policyholder data just going all over the place. So there's an added complexity. However, for those companies who have the resources to actually fulfill those security requirements, there should be zero reason why we can't all work together. And we should be empowering our customers to choose what are the best apps, the best applications, the best programs that work for them, and they should really all work together. And so that is the top-down perspective here at CoreLogic, and it's one that we hope the whole industry will follow.
I love it. Okay. All right. Well, you released a great statement personally on social media earlier today. I shared it on the CNR website so people can read it there as well. But Garret Gray, what do you want to tell the industry from your heart to them now?
Look, this is a big deal for us personally. Like, we as a team, we've had big goals from the very beginning. Like, we, maybe crazy goals, and I'm so thankful to my people, the people that have worked with me, my team, the customers, the industry partners. We have been so supported by this industry. This has been, such a fantastic, 17 years I've been in this industry, but the last 13 years at NextGear have just been something that is truly meaningful to me and to my team. And so, one, thank you to everybody who has been a part of the success. This is really an industry success. This industry built this company, and I couldn't be more thankful. And I really hope that when the next couple months and years go by, when people look back on this acquisition, they realize Garret did the right thing. He put it in the right hands, and it really made a big positive impact for our space, because that is exactly why I did what I did. Perfect.
All right, Garret, anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
Oh my gosh, I could talk forever, but I feel like, thank you to you and to, everybody who's, followed the NextGear story. And now it's the CoreLogic story. CoreLogic is doubling down in the insurance space. I mean, the amount of investment that we're about to bring to the space, which everyone's going to benefit from, is monumental. And I have not been able to sleep. You can probably see the bags in our minds. I have not been able to sleep, not because just, transaction stuff. Like, I've not been able to sleep because my mind is spinning on all the things we're going to be able to do in this space now. and I couldn't be more excited. So more to come. Stay tuned. We have a lot to do to kind of, obviously merge these two teams, but everyone is so thrilled to keep delivering high ROI to our customers, and that's what we're going to do.
Perfect. Yeah, I doubt that this is even close to the end. Anybody who watches CoreLogic news or anything knows anything about CoreLogic, this is just the beginning. So congrats, Garret. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.